Background noises could be a little much in here. Christine Waddell at the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation Donor Appreciation Night. And our Beautiful Plains Community Foundation was started back in 1995. And when you look at the pictures of the original board, the Susan Drayson, Greg Dunn, Kathy McGrath, Janice Goldade, Susan Hall, Don Schmall, all the people that were involved, and Thomas Sill Foundation. And tonight the board members have gotten together. They are just done a tremendous amount in our community and continue to do so. And tonight is Appreciation Night, so we'll see if we can get a little bit of word from some of the board members. It's one of those boards that they try and involve. When I say Beautiful Plains encompasses Arden and Eden and the surrounding area, different municipalities. It isn't Neepawa, it's the beautiful County of Beautiful Plains, which is a historic area. And the municipalities involved and people from each of those areas is on the board. They can only have a 3-year term. It's a volunteer board. They have a director who is very busy and speaking right now to one of our teachers in the community, Blair Chapman, who heads up the Margaret Lawrence Home Committee. And so I'll see if some of them have some time to have a little chat. So we have a relatively new person to our area. And your name, sir?
I'm Jeff Miner. I'm on the board of the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation. I'm also the ops manager at the local co-op.
Okay. And so how long have you been on the board?
This is year 3.
Okay.
Kind of been tough to do things in the last couple of years, but it's been rewarding. There's a lot of community involvement, and it's great to meet people and see how the community works and comes together.
Okay. We were talking a minute ago, and you said you have worked in other communities. Have you been in a community where there was a foundation board like this?
You know what? I've been in communities that had foundation boards. Dauphin obviously has one. They have a great one. I've been working with them since I've been here. My background with volunteerism before this was mostly in Winnipeg. I did a lot of work with Shalom Mission and Habitat for Humanity, and so when I came here, I was looking for a place to volunteer, and they actually needed a board member, so I thought I would help out.
Well, you are on one of the, I've always said, one of the best boards in town. It's one of the best run boards. And so you're in your 3rd year.
Yep.
There is a restriction on how many years you can be on the board, I believe?
Yeah, so they're 3-year terms, and they ask that you only fill 2. So after you're done your 6 years, you take a break. You can come back after if you want, but really it's healthy to get new people and new ideas, and so I think that 6 years all.
Yeah. I think I heard in the conversation out in the visiting room that for some of you it's the first time you've met face to face because of the restrictions the last 2 years.
Yeah, so the board meets on a monthly basis, plus our committees can meet outside of that, but we've been adhering to the restrictions, and for the people who have come in the last 2 years, this will be the first night that we've actually been able to see face to face. So.
And I see some very young faces in the room. How many people are on the board at any one time from your experience?
It depends. We try to keep a full board, which is 11. Right now, we have 11.
11. And it is Beautiful Plains Community Foundation, which encompasses a fairly large area.
Yes.
And so you have representatives from communities like Arden and Eden and
yes,
Franklin.
We try to keep at least one board member from every RM that's in our catchment area. Sometimes we can't, but if there ends up a time where we can't, we try to get them next time because every year we have a rotation and we're looking for a board member every year.
Okay. And it is that rotation, and my understanding is that board members are encouraged to find new board members as they exit the board when they've done their term.
Yeah, and for the most part, we do. We're a pretty good group that way. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, but in my experience, the last 3 years, it's worked that way.
Yeah. And so you're in the community now. You've been here, how many years in the Neepawa area?
Well, Neepawa area, 4 years. But again, I came from Dauphin and we spent our lives driving, so I drove down this highway a whole lot of times in my youth.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate your time away from being able to visit with the others, and my husband and I have supported the foundation since inception in '95. So, and remember fondly the people who started this organization and what it's done for various organizations in the community. I've been involved with Arts Forward that appreciates the help there, and my husband is very involved with the Titans Hockey Club and with the Yellowhead board for the arena and the hall. And so we do know that your foundation has always been generous. And when are the grants going to be announced? Do you know?
It depends. It varies a little bit every year. Usually we have the grant request deadline pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
And then the grants are announced Q2, Q3, mid-year.
Oh, mid. So we got a ways to go.
Yeah,
but
little bit.
The actual process of submissions is still in process. It must be getting close. But
maybe don't quote me on that.
no, don't quote. I'll check with Brenda on
check
that
with
one.
Brenda. Yeah, that's my catch-all phrase. When I don't know something, check with Brenda.
Well, and Brenda has been involved. She hasn't been the director forever, but I think she's the third or fourth one. We've had some very good directors, and she's had big shoes to fill, but she's managing quite nicely, and that's appreciated.
And you know what? It's interesting because I've lived in a lot of places. We were talking before this. Every community is different. Neepawa is special. Like Neepawa actually has. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's this je ne sais quoi where people just get along. Like there was a time where the Roxy needed a little bit of help. And because their heater went down, it took, I think, 6 hours for that to be fully funded by the community. Like, it's just the amount of camaraderie and just togetherness that you guys have. It's special, and it's so nice, and so it's. Yeah.
And we are a unique community in that many of our things don't belong to the town or the municipalities.
Yeah.
They are their own boards, like. And the town does support them, but they have their own boards and they're unique in that way, and it has its strengths and its challenges, and yes, that Neepawa is different that way, and when you look at the age group, and we have an influx of new people in our community, but they're of a background that like volunteering. They're volunteering type people.
It reminds me of my childhood in a little bit. When I was in Winnipeg, you didn't have the roving bands of kids on weekends, and you see that here still. It's really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, but and the rest of the communities in the area. I've done a lot of work with Franklin and Brookdale, and beautiful buildings, beautiful communities. Everyone there's again a sense of togetherness that is kind of unique in my experience.
Yeah. I thank you for your time. I appreciate that you've come to our community, and you bring a wealth of experience from being in other communities, and you belong to a very good business group that has hired a lot of people. I think of all the young people that have worked at that gas bar over the last 2 generations, 3, and how they've given back to the community and are still here. And the Neepawa Gladstone Co-op is a pretty special organization as well, so I'm glad they're bringing in some quality people.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
So it's very much a social evening, and I see there was some refreshments, and they have signboards and the board members. As she said, there is up to 11 people on the board, and former board members are here, as well as donors and people who have supported it over the years. It is greatly appreciated. So, if you have questions, I'll show you the phone number. And if Brenda is not in the office because it isn't a full-time job, leave a message and she will get back to you. Brenda has done a tremendous job in this, and there is the various levels of support. And every year there is a giving time when our funds are matched up to a certain amount by the SIL Foundation, which has made a huge difference to the amount of money that is in the foundation, as only the interest is used to support communities. So, as I say, here we are in the Nipawin Legion Hall, and various board members and people meeting, and it's greatly appreciated to the various organizations in the community. So if you have a chance, support our Beautiful Plains Community Foundation. Or if you're in another community, perhaps there's an organization that's similar that you could get involved with. Christine Waddell for NACTV.
Everyone's attention for 2 minutes. We were approached by Heather and the middle school playground committee to see if we would support their venture. And so we put out a challenge to them where they had to raise $20,000 and we would match that. And they have already surpassed that by quite a bit. I think you said, what, 50,000 right now, Heather? So we do have a check for 20 grand from the foundation to the middle school playground committee.
Awesome.